Well, you're my friend, and can you see many times we've been out drinking, many times we shared our thoughts. But did you ever notice the kind of thoughts I got? Well, you know I have
He played really content all by himself. Funny, really funny.
The cutest ever. All you wanted to do was squeeze and kiss him.
Always interesting for sure. Never a dull moment. We always had fun. We always just hanging out, kicking it.
Growing up with Jason was... we're quite a few years apart, and we didn't have too much of a close relationship, but I truly loved my brother.
Loved to tease. Got that from my side of the family. My dad was a big teaser, and he loved to tease too.
Almost like he was in his older years. He's just always a good dude. You know, was really straight to the point, straight and narrow kind of guy. And, you know, when I first met him as a kid, you know, he was like a bigger figure, definitely older brother figure. So, you know, a little intimidating at first. And, you know, once you get past that barrier there, just, you know, full of love and just a good, genuine person.
You must follow your heart.
I met Jason through a guy named Josh Langley. Many years ago when I was working at Burger King. Known the man for about 8-9 years.
I met Jason through Josh Stokes. And he came down to the ballpark down there one day. And that's where I met him, like right at the end of the dirt road.
We went on a camping trip to Billy Park. And yeah, we're friends ever since then.
I met Jason through a buddy of mine who was at Mike's house because Jason was up visiting from Chico, and Mike was busy doing other things, and Jason was bored and needed someone to hang out with. So this buddy of mine got a hold of me because I lived right down the street and had me come up there, and that's how we met right there. And right then we just clicked.
I met Jason right there behind you. I met Jesse down at the ballpark when I was a kid. We met when we were 8, and he was like the older brother to all his kids. So I met him right there in the doorway one day. Back in I think it must have been 2000.
Jesse and Chaz introduced me to Bobo. My first introduction to Jason was, Lizzie, this is my big brother Bobo.
Andrea and my daughter Gina were best friends, and they had their babies 5 weeks apart. Nicola was my grandson. That was Gina's son. And she had him 5 weeks after Jason was born.
I met Jason in the 5th grade. First day of 5th grade, I first saw him. I saw him, and I knew I wanted to be his friend. So I remember I went to go talk to him, and that day I was wearing these really light blue pants that had a pink tint to them. Anyways, I went and tried to talk to him, and started making fun of my pants.
Well, he was my cousin through my aunt's side, and we pretty much grew up together. He was my big cousin, and him and my brother were like best friends too. And he was a big part of my family as well.
I walked away and was kind of alone that day until after lunch, and then I remember we had some art project after lunch or recess or something, and by chance we got paired up, and we didn't even do the art project. We just started drawing comic book villains and things, and we both realized we were talented artists, and from that point on we started talking, and we got close through drawing and things like that, and decided we were going to make a comic book and sell it at school. And that's how I met him.
I knew Jason through Katarina. I've been dating her for 6 years now. And
all hung out, and like automatically they bonded, and they were drinking beers, and we all had a good time, and kicking it how we normally do. And
Goofy, funny, like to have fun. It's fun to be around. Yeah, he was always a pretty silly guy. Liked to laugh.
He was a really funny guy, and
people loved him and loved being his friend. And
he was laughing, making jokes, and he had the more laid back, and I was the more hyper, and it was just like the yin yang, and we just bounced right off each other. It was cool.
Right down to the fire.
Probably just being up in his room with him and Mike hanging out. That's probably it right there. Listen to music, talk about music, watch movies and laugh. Just, kid stuff.
Bobo. My God. Bobo will be missed, but never forgotten. And my fondest memories of Bobo were of him, Andy, Josh, Jeremy, and Mike playing ninjas in the backyard.
How smart he was, I was just looking at him while he was talking, thinking in my mind, wow, you were so smart. You're so awesome, dude. I'm so proud to be your mother.
All the friends he had, growing up with all these guys throughout the years, it seems like they always, had my back, and I always had some kind of family to fall back on. And I remember early on when I was kind of going through my experimental years and curiosity years and all that, or the rougher kids on the playground and all this, they always seem to take me to the side and give me advice or, pretty much do what they could for me. So.
Movies and laughing. Like, remember watching Freddy Got Fingered in Rambo 4 up in his room and just hysterically laughing. Hardest I've ever laughed, with anybody pretty much.
Jason was happy, and stuff. I mean, everything was, every moment with him was fun, and funny. It's hard to really put a specific time that I could actually say on video.
I can remember Halloween. This last Halloween, he gave me the biggest hug that I'll just never, ever forget. It was just one of those hugs that you'll just never forget. And it just touched my heart.
The thing that I loved about Jason is it did not matter if he was the most depressed, stressed out person you'd ever seen. Even if he was completely hopeless for himself, he would always try to cheer you up, no matter what. If you needed a shoulder to lean on, Jason was your guy. So I think that's what I love most about him. He had a good heart.
Need more friends with wings. All the angels I know put concrete in my veins.
He cared so much about his friends. He really did. He had so many of them, and when you met Jason, there was something that just drew you. Just wanted to be his friend. He was so awesome, I mean, he was my friend too,
Do anything for anybody. He was always there. You needed him. He's dearly missed, and I know he's still here with us, though.
To all these guys, and to myself, and to my mother, my father, everybody, just a really close friend, was always right there for you, seemed to do a lot for everybody, and usually you'd call him up and he'd be right there for you. He was a loyal friend, definitely.
He was the best. He was more than a friend. I mean, he was like my brother.
I couldn't have asked for him to have better friends. I loved all of his friends dearly, and
He was a good friend. I remember there was times where I was having hard times, and he was, he'd let me say my stuff, and he'd listen, and never was judgmental about it, or he was a good friend.
He was one of the very few people I could actually call a friend.
Always around each other since the first day of school. up and through our teens and early 20s, and I don't know, the last couple, maybe the last year and a half, we weren't as close, but he was a great friend, man. He helped me out whenever I needed it, and sometimes even when I didn't need it. He's there. He's great.
Caring, giving, give you his heart if he had to. Helped me out with so many different things through life. Taught me how to be a man. Just a great person. Stony dude.
One time when we went through a drive-through and he wanted McDonald's so bad, and we went through up here in Paradise through the drive-through, and he says, "Supersize it, okay, Mom?" And so I said, "Circumcise it, please." And he about lost his mind. He was giggling so hard, and I couldn't believe that I even said it.
Myself, Jason, and Michael Robertson were down in Chico flying for a concert, for a tech concert. And Jason, we're down by where they hold the farmer's market, and there was a car that had a bunch of trash in it, and Jason's like, "Oh man, this car needs one. It's got enough trash on it. I'm going to put one on the windshield." He walks up to the car, and he sees a person sitting in it, and he just like, I don't know how he did it, just pivots on one foot, and he's like, "Fuck that," and just walks away and started busting up laughing. It's got to be my favorite memory of it.
Andrea lived in an apartment building, and the two of them rolled my car out into the parking lot. And they were 3 or 4. I think they were closer to 3 than they were 4. But all I know is they came running in the house and ran and hid under Jason's bed, and Koa kept saying, "The car's going to blow up. The car's going to explode. The car's going to explode." And they were hiding under the bed, so I ran out to the parking lot, and here's my car. It's out in the middle of it. They had pulled the brake, off and put it in neutral somehow, and they cruised on out. So I put it back, and I went back in the house, and I didn't understand what the exploding thing was, but I had a talk with them that they were never going to do that again. And Andrea said, "Well, wait a minute. I don't think that's enough. Let Mom take charge." So she did, and they never did that again.
There's one where I was really young. Me and Jesse and Derek and Chaz walked up from the ballpark, and Lewis, my brother, was pinned down on the ground with Stokes on one end and Jason on the other, and they were tickling him to death. And they were all just laughing so hard, and like they were just giggling. And we came in and we just all dropped to the floor how funny it was. We just couldn't believe like what was going on. And we wish we would have took pictures, and it was hilarious. That was a good moment. Like,
yeah, when we lived together, that was my favorite memory. We were in one of the back rooms, hanging out. We were drinking a little bit, get a little buzz, and I can't remember the song, but the song came on, and I started kind of dancing a little bit, and then I stood up and went like that to his face, and Miranda walked in. She opened the door and saw that and just slowly closed the door. I don't know.
Jason came down with SARS, and he was in the ICU, all sequestered. No one could go near him. And it was Halloween, and I had dressed up at Save Mart, and I came storming into that ICU and gave him a lap dance on his bed in the ICU. That's one of my fondest memories. I'll never forget it. Kind of scared him.
He was a great father, loving, caring, kind, funny.
Jason was a great father. Loving, kind, considerate, patient. He made a great dad to Chaz, I'll tell you that.
He's my dad.
He was your dad?
Yeah.
Love your dad? How much?
Whole bunch.
He was a good dad. He really enjoyed his son.
He was a great father. Like, he always be with us. And he still, even the little bit he had, but then he would still be with him always. Like, he was a great father.
Jason loved his little boy. Jason, I can't imagine him not looking out for somebody he loves, you know. He was fun, and he had such an imagination and stuff. I don't know, he just... The people that he loved hard, and he took care of them. That was his nature. He couldn't do it any other way. I think he was Chenzo's superhero. Definitely was.
A great father. He loved his son a lot, and I knew it, but then just a few weeks ago I seen Vinny run in the house and grab Jason, and they gave each other this hug that just made me tear up, and I could actually see how much Jason loved him. And we talked about it, and then like 5 minutes after we talked about it, he ran back. His son came in again another day, did the same exact thing, and I saw it again. He was a great father. He loved him with all of his heart.
He's up in heaven.
He's up in heaven? Who's with him?
Jesus and Buster. With a whole bunch of hearts.
I just love him, and it's a shocker he's not here with us.
Just, I love you, man, and I'll see you again some other time, man. And we'll chill.
Oh, Bobo. Just that I love him so much. I'm gonna miss him so much, but he'll never be forgotten.
Just gonna miss him, and you know, if he hears me right now, just love you, Jason. Love you, miss you. Everybody misses you.
God bless you, son, and I know you'll always be looking over us. Peace out, man.
I'll see you when I get there, Jason. And I know you got it good right now. I wish you had called me. You should have saved some of that hope for yourself, man.
Jason, there's so many people out there that love you, man. We just miss you so much. And know that Vinny and your mom and your family's going to take care of him, man. Rest in peace, big guy.
I love him and I miss him.
Sometimes when you're doing simple things around
Guess
the
not much else
house,
than
maybe you'll think of me and smile.
I love him, you know. And
You know I'm tired
that,
of you, like the buttons on
I should have
your
maybe
blouse.
paid attention to
Keep me in your heart for
more
a
things
while.
and not just kind of thought, you know, that's just Jason being Jason. And, you know, I should have been more of a brother to him like he was to me. Just tell him that I love him.
And I will be right next to you.
Oh, Jason, I love you with all my heart and soul. And you better save me a spot up there, because I'll be coming up there too. I love you. Bye.
We wish we were around more, and that we love him very much, and we would have done anything for him.
We miss him.
And we miss him. We all miss him.
I'm just gonna miss him.
He will be missed, and he is missed. And I love you, Jason.